Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on how to effectively quit your job as an employee. So how can you effectively quit your job as an employee? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Before you commence drafting your resignation letter, you want to be able to confabulate with your employer about the soonest possible date that you can resign from your position. You want to be able to resign from your position in good standings with your employer, even if they are preordained to become your former employer sometime in the imminent future. Once you have ascertained the soonest possible resignation date that you can leave your position in good standings, you want to be able to draft your resignation letter and embed the soonest possible resignation date on your resignation letter. Once your resignation letter is completed, you can furnish it to your employer via in person or via email. It is up to you. You want to be able to prudently allocate your time. You do not want to mismanage your time. You should never imprudently allocate your time. Your time is sacrosanct, precious, indispensable, finite, and invaluable. As per your work, you want to be able to cultivate behemoth brands and profusely produce income-generating assets. As you are unequivocally aware, the only way to get out of poverty is to have your recurring revenue streams as an aggregate offset your recurring expenses. That is the only way to get out of poverty, and the only way to build up your recurring revenue streams is to cultivate behemoth brands and to produce income-generating assets. You want to be able to usher in a prosperous, auspicious, abundant, robust future into reality. You do not want to succumb to being insurmountably indebted nor chronically impoverished in perpetuity. If you work a dead-end, dispiriting, harrowing, agonizing, debilitating, brutally wretched employee job that pays an infinitesimal, non-subsistence minimum wage, then it will keep you entrapped in chronic poverty. It will keep you entrapped in insurmountable debt because it does not even pay enough for you to be able to afford to fund your utmost, lowest level basic needs, a part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. And there's no future in working a dead-end minimum wage job that does not even offer anything remotely close to a subsistence wage. So make sure that you make shrewd, prudent, optimal, circumspect decisions, and make sure that you do not make imprudent, impetuous, gormless decisions. Do not misallocate your work time. Embrace entrepreneurial pursuits. Embrace cultivating behemoth brands. Embrace creating income-generating assets. You want to be able to have a prosperous future and not a bleak, nor grim, nor inauspicious future. So I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Make sure that you furnish your employer with a resignation letter prior to the advent of quitting your job, and as a courtesy, make sure that you inquire about the soonest possible resignation date when speaking to your employer so that you can give them enough time to find an employee to replace you. Unfortunately, much to your dismay, much to your chagrin, much to your agony, much to your distress, much to your consternation, much to your grief, employers view their employees as exploitable capital livestock. That is harvested for profiteering purposes. They view their employees as labor cost liabilities. They always want to pay their employees the absolute minimum amount for the maximum amount of hours worked, whereas employees want to be able to receive the absolute maximum amount for the minimum amount of hours worked. So the interests between the employees and the employers are diametrically opposed. There's a conflict of interest between the employees and the employers. The interests between the employees and the employers are unequivocally unaligned in every facet, and an employer market The employer holds all the cards, they have all the leverage, and they will never consider paying their employees a livable wage because they view them as a dime a dozen, and they do not care about your well-being, nor your health, nor your dignity, nor your happiness, nor your future prospects. You're just a cog in the wheel to them that is deemed replaceable. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That is a grim, bleak reality that exists. I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.